Welcome to Sheikh Hamdan's official channel, a place where hearts find untold stories, where emotions breathe through royal silence, and where truth often hides behind the shimmer of Dubai's golden skyline. Tonight, we uncover one of the most emotional mysteries ever whispered within palace walls. Did Sheikh Hamdan really let go of his first love? This is not just a story, it's a heartbeat, frozen in time, wrapped in secrets the world never got to see. The story begins before the fame, before the flashlights, before the crown became his companion. It was a chapter written in soft words and innocent glances, a young poet's heart meeting someone who made him forget that he was a prince. Her smile wasn't grand, but it carried peace. Her laughter wasn't loud, but it echoed in places where loneliness often hid. To the world, it was just a passing encounter. To him, it was everything. But love, when it finds a home in the heart of a royal, is never simple. Between duty and desire, between family and feeling, there stood a man torn in silence. The whispers of tradition grew louder than the whispers of love. And as the palace gates closed one night, so did a chapter that would never truly end. People saw him smile in public, but the poets in his soul began to write darker verses. Rumors began to swirl like desert storms. Some said he chose the throne, others said she walked away. Yet the truth, only he knows, is not about who left whom, but who kept holding on in secret. His poems grew more haunting, his eyes more reflective. Every word he wrote sounded like a farewell, and yet, a promise hidden within it. To love, he once said, is not to possess, it's to protect, even from yourself. Behind the camera flashes and royal commitments, there were nights when Sheikh Hamdan stood by the balcony of his palace, looking at the endless city lights. Somewhere beyond them, maybe she was there, building her own life, while his remained surrounded by expectations. The stars became his only confidants, and poetry became his escape. To let go of her didn't mean forgetting, it meant loving her enough to set her free. Time moved on, but emotions have their own rhythm. People watched him grow into a leader, a poet, and a symbol of grace. Yet, every now and then, when he spoke about love, there was a depth in his tone that only those who have lost something pure can carry. His silence spoke louder than any interview. His smile carried a softness that belonged to a memory, not the moment. Years passed, and his fans began to wonder if that chapter had truly ended. The world saw him standing tall, but behind the royal composure, there was still a boy who once waited for a reply that never came. Life demanded he move forward, and he did, gracefully, powerfully. But some emotions don't fade, they evolve. They become part of who you are. There came a time when the world thought he had found love again. The headlines glimmered with excitement, but those who truly knew his soul could see, the spark was different. Not weaker, not lesser, just different. Because the first love is not about possession, it's about transformation. It teaches you how to feel, how to lose, and how to live again. Some say they met again in secret, somewhere far from royal eyes. Others say their souls only met through words, in poems, in prayers, in unspoken dreams. Whatever the truth may be, Sheikh Hamdan never spoke of her publicly again. Maybe because love like that deserves silence. Maybe because some endings are too sacred to explain. In his writings, if you read between the lines, you'll find her shadow, gentle, constant, unforgotten. She lives in the verses where he speaks of the sea, in the metaphors where he describes the moon, in the rhythm of a heart that learned to beat quietly. Letting go was never the same as erasing. It was his way of saying, I still remember, but I no longer ache. Behind the grandeur of royal life, there remains a truth that even power cannot escape, that the heart, no matter how strong, still Every royal has a secret passion, but Sheikh Hamdan's isn't hidden out of pride. It's hidden out of love. Because for him, some things are too pure for the world to fully see. The royal ride is where he becomes human again, where the prince turns into the poet, and the leader becomes a learner. It's in that sacred space between the dunes and the sky that his heart truly speaks. So when the world asks, what drives Sheikh Hamdan? The answer is simple: the heartbeat of a horse. His hidden passion has never been about showing off. It's about staying grounded in a world that often forgets humility. Through every gallop, he reminds us that strength is soft, and power is gentle when guided by love. As his confession unfolded, the royal air around him softened. He spoke not as a man who ruled a city, but as one ruled by emotion. Strength, he said, is not in hiding fear, but in admitting it, and tonight, I am strong because I am afraid. The hall erupted not in applause, but in quiet awe. It wasn't a speech, it was a revelation. When he finally paused, the night itself seemed to bow in respect. The desert breeze outside whispered through the palace walls as if carrying his truth into the stars. Sheikh Hamdan stood silently for a moment, his eyes tracing the horizon, his heart lighter for having spoken what many never dare to say. And as he left the stage, the echo of his confession lingered like poetry in motion, an immortal reminder that even princes fear being forgotten, that even power trembles before love, and that sometimes the bravest thing a heart can do is to confess what it hides behind a smile. That night, Sheikh Hamdan didn't just reveal his biggest fear, he revealed his deepest humanity. The kind of love that had left a mark on his soul. The kind that made even a crown feel small. He didn't name her, but the silence between his words said enough. I fear that love once lost can never return the same way, he murmured, and that my poems might outlive the heart that inspired them. The fear of losing the one who made your words come alive. His eyes seemed to drift somewhere far away, to a memory that still burned quietly in the corners of his heart. Those who knew him well sensed that his fear wasn't only about being unseen, it was also about love. The question remains, why didn't Sheikh Hamdan want the world to read that letter? Maybe because it showed that even the strongest hearts have fragile corners. Maybe because true love, once exposed, loses its sacredness. Or maybe, deep down, he wanted to protect her from the